Sunlight poured through stained glass, bathing the cathedral in a rainbow glow. Bishop Joseph O'Malley knelt at the altar, his silver hair glistening as his eyes were closed in prayer.
He is our shepherd, guiding us towards the light.
The congregation felt his warmth. They had no idea of the darkness he held within. They did not know of the raven. The two worlds Bishop O'Malley inhabited couldn't be more different. One was filled with hymns and whispered prayers, while the other pulsed with the raw energy of survival. How did a man of God become a creature of the night? The answer lay buried in his past, a past etched with pain and resilience, and
It began in the city's most unforgiving depths.
Joseph's childhood home was a cramped tenement building in the poorest part of the city. His mother, a woman of unwavering faith, raised him alone. She taught him the power of prayer, but she also taught him to fight, survive. These lessons, seemingly at odds, would become the pillars of his double life. Trust in God, his mother would say, her voice hoarse but firm. She held him close, her eyes reflecting the flickering candlelight.
He will always be your shield.
But the streets outside their door told a different story. They were a battleground where only the strong survived. Joseph learned to read the signs, to anticipate danger. He never questioned his mother's faith, but he also never forgot the glint of steel. It was a glint he saw in the eyes of those who preyed on the weak. He carried both lessons in his heart, a confusing mix of compassion and ruthlessness. This strange duality would shape the man he would become. Even as a boy, Joseph felt drawn to the church. It was a sanctuary from the harsh realities of his life. The soaring arches, the smell of incense, the gentle murmur of prayers, it all brought him a sense of peace.
I dedicated myself to my studies, excelling in my classes.
His intelligence and piety were noticed, and he received a scholarship to the seminary. Seminary life was a stark contrast to his upbringing. It was a world of quiet contemplation and theological debate. Joseph immersed himself in his studies, finding solace in the scriptures. He felt a calling, a deep-seated need to serve God. But the shadows of his past still lingered, whispering of a different kind of service. Section 5. The Raven Takes Flight. His calling led him back to his old neighborhood.
I became a priest. I wanted to serve the people I understood.
The people who faced the same darkness he knew so well. He quickly realized that faith alone couldn't always protect his flock. The gangs, the drugs, the violence, it was a different kind of evil.
One night, a young boy was caught in the crossfire of a gang war. He was just a child, innocent and afraid.
Joseph held him as he died. Despair and rage welled up inside him. That night, something shifted within him.
I vowed to protect my flock, no matter the cost. I would become their silent guardian, their dark avenger. I would become the Raven.
Section 6. Two worlds collide. The Raven's methods were unorthodox, to say the least. He moved in the shadows, using fear and intimidation to keep the gangs in check.
I knew their secrets, their weaknesses. I exploited them with a chilling efficiency.
His actions were effective, but they came at a cost. He lived a double life. The weight of his secrets grew heavier with each passing day.
I was a shepherd tending to my flock, offering words of comfort and hope. I was also a predator stalking the night, delivering my own brand of justice.
The line between right and wrong blurred. He walked a razor's edge, constantly on the verge of falling. The Raven's actions did not go unnoticed. Rumors of a vigilante spread through the underworld. Some whispered his name with fear, others with a grudging respect. He became a symbol of hope in the city's darkest corners, a beacon in the night.
There were moments when I found a strange solace in my double life. I saw the fear in the eyes of those who preyed on the innocent. I felt a perverse satisfaction in delivering swift, brutal justice. But these moments were always fleeting. They were followed by a crushing guilt. I was a man of God, yet I dealt in darkness.
As time passed, Joseph rose through the ranks of the church. He was appointed Bishop of St. Michael's Cathedral. It was a position of great honor. It was also a heavy burden. He was responsible for the spiritual well-being of thousands. All the while, he carried the secret of his double life.
My days were spent in prayer and service. My nights were consumed by the shadows. I became a master of compartmentalization. I erected walls around my heart, keeping my two worlds separate, but the walls were closing in. The pressure was building. I knew that one day they would crumble.
The strain began to show. There were moments when the raven's ruthlessness bled into his daily life, a sharp word to a fellow priest, a flash of anger at a minor inconvenience. He fought to maintain his composure, but the cracks were starting to show.
One Sunday during Mass, I looked out at the faces of my parishioners. They looked up to me. They trusted me. They believed in me. A wave of nausea washed over me. I felt like a fraud, a hypocrite. I was living a lie, and it was eating me alive.
Bishop, are you all right? You seem troubled.
The bishop and the raven, two sides of the same coin. One couldn't exist without the other. Joseph was trapped in a prison of his own making. He yearned for redemption. But how could he atone for his sins without destroying everything he had built? The answer, he knew, lay somewhere in the darkness.
The city lights twinkled below, a vast tapestry of hope and despair. I stood at the edge of the cathedral roof, my silhouette a stark shadow against the night sky. I was a man divided, caught between two worlds. I was a bishop and a vigilante, a shepherd and a raven. And as I looked out over the city I had sworn to protect, I knew that the battle for my soul had just begun.